Welcome to the WellPlayed DLC podcast, Australia's juiciest gaming podcast. I'm your host this week, Zach Jackson, and joining me is Adam Ryan
Hello, that's me.
and James Wood.
Howdy, gamers.
How we feeling this week?
We are feeling, I guess, hot, right? Is the prevailing thing.
I look very
Sweaty.
white in
I think
this.
we can all be brought together with sweat this week.
The great unifier is what they call it.
They do. Got a very, very exciting episode this week. We've got my Indiana Jones and the Great Circle review. James has been hanging out with some sexy Greek gods in Mythwrecked, and Adam's, well, we'll find out because he's been playing Redacted. But
The week really sold it.
but more on
really
that.
Put the cherry on top.
The whipped cream and cherry, if you know.
Oh my god.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We shouldn't have paid attention to him. We should have just let him go.
That wasn't good. Anyway, before we get into those, what have we been playing, Adam? Anything else? You still dabbling with the Steam Deck? You did give me some very exciting news in a direct message.
I have been, yes, directly from my phone straight to yours. I have been dabbling more in the Steam Deck. I've downloaded a few other bits and pieces. Moonlighter, I never got around to when it first came out, but the news of the sequel has made me want to jump in and give it a tickle. It's an adorable game, and it looks incredible on an OLED screen. Hot damn, do those colors a pop. But what you're referring to is I downloaded Dungeons of Hinterberg. Speaking of bright colors, that game's premise is absolutely top notch. I love the go to this getaway from your job and delve into dungeons and kill semi-sentient creatures that have just popped up out of nowhere. I think that's really creative and cool. And I've only played like maybe an hour, so I kind of through the tutorial dungeon, I suppose. The gameplay's good. I'm enjoying it. I think it's got a cool little hook, and I'm keen to play more. And like Moonlighter, the OLED screen really kicks ass with those colors. It's a good time.
Quick question on the Steam Deck: how big is the screen? Do you know?
Oh, a quick Google will tell me Steam Deck screen size. Like, if you're used to a Switch, I feel considerably bigger than a Switch, 7.4 inches diagonally. But like in the hands, the unit is a decent bit bigger than a Switch. Like it's pretty bulky, but yeah, I'm loving it. What a good little bit of hardware.
For comparison, the Switch screen is 6.2.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And how big's the Fold?
Oh god, there's so many questions.
Maybe.
Pixel Fold screen size. If only there was 5.8, 7.6. No. Opens
Those
vertically.
are different numbers.
Reveal 7.6.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Oh my god!
I thought if you knew, you could say it, but you didn't.
I'm stressed.
Anyway,
I was so calm. Now I'm sweating because I'm stressed, not because I'm hot.
What if I asked for it in the
5.6-inch wall
metric system?
Oh Jesus! I don't know. I don't work in centimeters with screens.
Anyway, actually, does anyone like find that weird? Like slightly, like we're all about the metric system, yet we still use inches for screens and stuff like that. Odd, isn't it?
We're hypocrites, dirty hypocrites.
Yeah,
just can't.
Americanization of the Australian culture continues.
We love it. Though, how would you say it? Like, just bought a new 300 centimeter TV. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah, it just sounds fun.
That sounds massive. Like, it sounds so much cool. I think we should be measuring everything in centimeters to make it sound bigger. If
to
you
be fair, that is 3 meters.
It's still 5, but yeah.
All right. Have you been playing anything else?
The only other thing I've been playing is Marvel Rivals, which is, to long story short, it's Overwatch, but Marvel and in third person. I refuse to agree with the people that are like, nah, it's a completely different game. Like, no, it's not. It's Overwatch, but Marvel. But I'm enjoying it.
I really thought it was a card game.
You're thinking of Marvel Snap.
Sure.
which
Yeah.
is a card game, and Marvel, and good as well. It's not my bag, but it is good.
Mm.
Mm.
James, have you
Yeah.
been playing anything
Yeah.
good?
I did play some Marvel Rivals, so I downloaded it. I played, I don't know, maybe
Is that a card game?
matches. Dozen or so matches. I like it hit me with that same feeling that Overwatch hit me with, which is like I can see the appeal of this. I can see myself beginning to lose time to this, but I ultimately find like the actual gameplay quite lethargic. Like the hero-based model for me is just a bit too a bit naff. You know, it's just not quite for me. So I like hardline uninstalled it to make sure that I didn't just go, because I felt I picked it up and I went like,
Good
I'll just kill
move.
some time with Storm, and I'm like, no, don't just kill time. Like, you know, like try to be an adult. So I nipped that in the butt, and instead I played Life is Strange Before the Storm for the first time. Because I wanted to wash the taste of double exposure out of my mouth. I wanted to remind myself that I like Life is Strange, and boy howdy, do I like Life is Strange. That thing is fucking great.
Which one's
really
Before the
sad I missed
Storm?
it
Is
when
that
it
the
first came out.
first Deck 9 one?
Prequel. Yes, it is a Deck 9 one, yeah.
Yeah, but it's
prequel
not,
to the
it's not their
original.
first one though, is it? Their first
I
one,
think so.
sorry?
Yeah.
I thought they'd made 3 now.
Possibly.
Adam, can we get a fact check on that?
Sure can, mate.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is
Good
that
stuff though. Really like Chloe. She's
Is
a
it-
cool character.
That one's not episodic, is it? That
It
one's
is, but it's only 3 episodes,
Right.
which to me also kind of highlights, I think, that maybe some of these things would be better served being a bit shorter, giving them a tighter focus. I think it helps them with the writing quite a bit.
How long are the eps? Like, how long is the overall length?
I think I spent about like an hour and a half to 2 hours on each episode,
Okay.
just kind of moseying about and whatnot. So
Cool.
yeah, not too bad.
They also did True Colors. So yes, they have done 3. So Before the Storm was the first, then True Colors, then Double Exposure.
I hear True Colors is amazing. I'll be playing it.
I've heard. I mean, when they all come together for Life is Strange, Avengers Assemble, then maybe we can see that character back again.
I was trying to explain to my mate like why he shouldn't play Double Exposure without spoiling why he shouldn't play Double Exposure, and it's so hard to adequately explain how badly they fuck up that storyline. But yeah, I don't think I can stop that from happening. But I'll at least get someone to talk to about it afterwards. So
Good.
Just a quick side, don't nod question. Did you ever play Tell Me Why?
is that the one with the twins?
Sure.
The
I haven't
twins that
played
had, like,
it.
memory power?
It was the Xbox one. It was on Game Pass. I think is it an Xbox exclusive? It might not be anymore.
It might be an Xbox exclusive. Yeah, like the
Or
the
PC,
trans
well, yeah.
brother, and the small American town.
Yes. That
Well,
sounds
which
like
is all of them. But yeah, no, I love Tell Me Why. I thought that was like a 10 out of 10
Oh.
experience. I love that game.
took a while to get there, but we 10 out of 10
We did.
apparently.
Yeah, no, I heavy fuck with that one. Quite like it.
Good stuff. Me, I played absolutely fucking nothing apart from Indiana Jones. So, actually, that's a lie. I lied to you just then. Please forgive me. I've actually been playing a lot of FIFA. Well, not FIFA, but FC 25. Doing my manager career, just taking the old Doncaster Rovers from League 2, sitting on top of the table at the moment, about 20 something games in. Yeah, it'd been, I don't know, just getting back into that little thing.
Yeah. And we all need a Marvel Rivals, you know.
We do.
I didn't expect that to be the part of the game you were playing. I thought maybe you'd play that really fun 5v5 mode that we played. So
I used to lose hours like hours upon hours on doing like so with like the manager, or it's the career mode. So where you're not just managing, you are like you're playing the games as well. I do love Football Manager, and I refuse to play that now because I get addicted. Like I get absolutely fucking hooked. I think like Football Manager 08 or something like that. My total game time was like 295 days or something like that.
Jesus.
Yeah,
no,
I played it for like
absolutely not.
like 7 years. Like just could not give up my save. I was managing like 8 teams, mate. It wasn't healthy.
Jesus Christ. Did you get Burnley to actually like do something?
Burnley were undefeated. Eventually I got to the stage where I use like cheats. There was this program you could basically like load your save into this cheat program, basically make all your dudes like incredible. So there was one guy like I didn't want him to retire, so I just kept like putting his stats in. I kept making him like young, so he could go from being like he would be like old, and then so he'd become he would go to like 33 and be like, oh, he's retiring soon. But all right, whack him in the file. He's 20 again. Yeah.
Fountain of Youth strikes again.
Magic.
Love
Anyway,
to see it.
but that's all I've been playing at the moment, other
Nice.
than Indiana Jones, which I finally actually literally rolled credits about, well, right before I jumped on this potty. So it is fresher than a Ross Bakery vanilla slice, mate.
Oh,
I thought you were going to go with like an Indiana Jones themed thing to say.
I wouldn't even know what. I wouldn't even know what. Yep.
What's
Anyway.
fresh in the Indiana Jones? Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
Probably the Ross Bakery vanilla slices, but anyway,
yeah, let's stick with that.
Yeah.
we shall move on. Anyway, so yeah, it's done. It's wrapped up. Has anyone? You've not played it, I assume, either of you on your PC or anything like that?
No.
Not yet.
Are any of you interested in playing it?
Casually, I would
Because
say.
the reception's been pretty good, right?
It has.
I've skimmed. I saw the Metacritic score like day one, or like the first hour or so. It was like 80 something.
Yeah.
It's-
Only read
it stayed
one
around there.
outright negative review.
Right, okay.
Which made its case, and that's fine too. But yeah, generally people seem pretty high on this thing.
Yeah, I am medium high.
Okay.
I'm high. I really did like it, but I do think there's some elements that I did not like, especially today trying to finish it off. There was just the stealth elements that really did kind of start to shit me towards the end, but we will get to that. So if you don't know what Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is, it's the game from Machine Games, who make the Wolfenstein games. This is a first-person Indiana Jones action-adventure game where you globetrot to solve this mystery and find treasure and solve puzzles and stuff like that. If you've seen an Indiana Jones film, it's basically an interactive version of one of those. They do a really, really good job at making it feel like an Indiana Jones experience. This is probably not spoilers because I feel like it's I've seen it on social media. Like I've seen big outlets post this like comparison, but the opening of the game is actually
Yeah.
you know about this? Yeah. So you play the opening scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I was like, fuck, like when I was playing it, I was like, this feels really familiar. Like,
I've not seen this. Yeah.
yeah. And then like when he did the whole switcheroo, I was like, this has got to be like, have they actually done it? But I still wasn't quite sure, right? But they did. Yeah, so that's that's a quite a little neat touch. So this game takes place after the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and in classic Indiana Jones style, there's Nazis behind this powerful treasure that both you and you as in Indiana Jones and the Nazis are trying to find. So it takes you across a half a dozen different places, I think, across the world. Some are more linear than others, and this is probably my biggest problem with the game. So when I did the preview, we got a little slice of the Vatican, which was quite cool, which is the opening level to the Vatican is quite a linear thing. Like there is a tiny little bit of exploration, but it is very much a linear sequence. But the actual when you're in that part of the game, you are in like the Vatican is like your hub, so you can actually go out and you can do different things and stuff like that around in the Vatican, which sounds cool because there's shit that you can stumble across like underground like chambers and whatnot, which is quite neat. But that whole part I think takes too long. You spend too long there and it's too tedious. There's little shit like early in the game you have to buy this camera, and this thing comes out of you all the time. Like you are constantly taking pictures. You can use it for hints in puzzles, which is quite neat. But generally, like, the game it'll be like a little point in the corner, Generally, like, you don't have to do it, right? But it pops up all the time, and you might take a picture of a painting, right? And Jones will make a comment about the painting or about a fountain or whatever the fuck, pyramid, like whatever it might be, right? So there is like a cool little bit to it, but it just becomes non-stop, and it kind of just got a little bit over like just taking a picture. But like one of the early missions in the Vatican, you had to basically go and find these fountains, take pictures of these fountains, then go back to old mate back in the Vatican, then go again and find some more fountains, take pictures of the fountains, come back and do it. So just little missions like that, which did kind of, they were boring. Like this is at the part of the game where I might have been speaking to you, James, and I was like, it's just like, it's a bit boring. Like, I'm a bit bored, like, at the moment. Like, give me the cool shit. Give me the cool Indiana. Like, when the game lets you be Indiana Jones and when it makes you feel like Indiana Jones, I think this game is really good. I think, and then these problems, I think, amplify a bit more in the Giza section, which is what I played in the preview as well, but it was only, like, for, like, an hour or 45 minutes or whatever it was. There's heaps of cool shit to do, right? Again, like, you can pick up something in the world, and then you'll start investigating these side quests and stuff, and that's what I did when I did the preview. Like, I didn't even do the main mission. I went out and did this cool little exploration thing under this tomb, but it's just the open world. I don't think works that well. I think this game works best when it's pushing you, not so much on rails.
Yeah, like the way you're talking about it, it was something I was thinking about in relation to this, and I sometimes think about it with Star Wars games as well, where like the fun fantasy of these worlds that we get presented in these movies is because they are condensed fantasy versions of these worlds, right? And so when you suddenly add in like, and here's Indiana Jones drinking a coffee, like press X to drink Indiana Jones's coffee. Like you kind of go like, this doesn't need to be part of the fantasy of being Indiana Jones, right? And like, I know, granted, what I'm asking for is essentially like a 5-hour game, and we're never going to get that. But do you think it's just a matter of like the push for scope and scale and length is sort of like holding this thing back from being like a more fully giving over to it Indiana Jonesy cinematic thing?
A little bit. I feel like they maybe quite didn't know what they. I think like they know what they wanted to make, right? Because they made it pretty well. Like they made an Indiana Jones video game, but there are parts where I think they wanted to just try. But it's weird because there's some parts in the game which are very, very linear, and you don't do any. There's no exploration at all, and they're the better parts, right? They're the parts where you feel momentum. At least for myself, because what I didn't love because you can pick up disguises. So in the world you can get the disguise. So in Giza you pick up like a worker disguise, right? Which is great. Which means you can walk around without guards being like like every 2 fucking seconds. But what is annoying is that the captains can still recognize you, which I get is a video game thing, but it's still kind of like, how do they know? And it's just a bit annoying, and combat is not good in this game. Like, I'm going to just say it outright. Combat is not fun. And I didn't like getting engaged in combat because it's not janky. What's right? It's clunky. It's probably the best word. Like it
looks
a
like
bit,
it was going for deliberate, but it doesn't maybe nail that.
No, and it's just, and the stamina part is really frustrating too, because every punch, every block, every everything that you do eats out of your stamina. You can upgrade things as you go. I don't know if there's an extra bit of stamina that you can unlock, because you find books in the world, and then you have to basically buy those books, or pay for those books with like, not skill points, but they're like adventure points or whatever the fuck. It's some currency that you basically. So I think it's like when you take pictures and shit of like your monuments, it gives you like 25 skill adventure points. Or they're not called adventure points, but it's something like that. And then you use all that to do this. But yeah, I just found that part of it like I'd actively avoided combat, right? Because if you go loud, like it's very, very hard to escape unless you can kind of run away and hide somewhere. The other thing is the AI is terrible, dead set terrible. Like this, I don't remember a worse AI in memory. I'm sure there is, but so you can be crouching, literally looking. So you can be walking down a hallway, crouching, the guy's circle will be like that. And there was one point where I like kind of hid behind a box. His thing went down like a quarter, and then I just walked out down the hallway, walked past him, just or crouched past him. His thing didn't quite get all the way around his circle, and then by the time I got behind him, he was like, must have been nothing. I'm like, mate, right.
Yeah.
And there's lots of parts like that.
Yeah, they're getting big. So from what I understand with like the open world-ish aspect to it, like the multiple like approaches that you can take to the different levels, right? Like you can go in through the back, or you can go guns blazing through the middle, or whatever it might be. I've seen some gameplay of Geezer, I think, that's you can have like the whole Dishonored approach, right? Where there's different ways to skin a cat.
The imsim of it all.
I don't think it's as immersive as that, but
sure.
Yeah.
But does the AI does the AI being that bad kind of, surely that would hurt that overall, right? Like, what's the point in trying different, like, it just seems, so when I was playing Dishonored, I'm trying to get my thought in one straight line. It was like, do you take the easy path, which is, maybe sneak past guards over a building or whatever, or do you take the slightly more difficult path that might be a bit more rewarding or offer a different gameplay experience? Does that kind of get broken with the AI is as bad as it is? Because to me, it wouldn't seem like, it doesn't matter what path you take, they're all going to be pretty much the same because the AI is kind of dog shit.
Well, you kind of play it, well, at least this is how I played it. I played to the point where I was pushing the AI, I was testing the AI as much as I possibly could. I was walking out, seeing how far I could get before I would be seen, which kind of, is probably not the way that you play, these kind of games. Just, walking out in front of it, it does kind of break that immersion a little bit because you are walking out. Like I was walking out all the time, being seen. I didn't really like the stealth at all, and it's weird, right? Like enemies can see you from like far away, and you'll see their things start to go around, and you're like, mate, like how you? And then you'd stand behind like, I don't know, like a pole, like a telephone pole. You'll stand behind it, and they'll just like their circle will just go away.
Must have been the wind.
Yeah.
So it's just like little things like that. Like the AI is so bad in this game, but the story and the puzzles are really cool. They're not hard, but they're not like easy. Like they're not like super easy where it's like, oh, this is way too easy. But there's some of them that you do need to have a little bit of thinking, and stuff like that.
You've often got companions with you, like throughout the.
Yeah, sorry, that's the other thing I meant to mention about the AI. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, so in the Vatican, you meet a character called Gina, and Gina is looking for her sister, and then you and Gina form an alliance, a partnership, and you kind of travel, the next part of the game together. So overall, they don't really add like that much. In combat, they're not too bad. Like, they might take out a person here or there. But there was one sequence where, actually there's two sequences I'm going to mention. There's one where, I don't know how to explain it, but you're in like this lake basically, and you have to go down these tunnels and shit. Like it's really cool. Like you have to basically dive through these tunnels. And she wasn't there. Like she stayed on the boat. But every time I was inside this like pyramid thing underground, which was quite neat, and it was playing like it would just kept repeating the same line with her as if she was there, but like she wasn't talking. Jones was just talking to himself, so like she wasn't there to actually like say her lines, but he would just say he'd go through his dialogue. It
was just his inner dialogue. He was just like, now what would she say in this instance?
But then I would die like at the start when I was trying to figure out the path to go. I was in this like thing, and you go above the water. Every time that you would come up for breath, he'd be like, he'd just say this line. Like they'd go through this like dialogue sequence, and it's like, what the and there's often times where she gets lost or stuck, or
Sounds fun.
just I don't know, she just fucks off completely. Like I had to go on this elevator at one point, and she was there at one stage, and then she must have I don't know vanished. Then I went to the elevator, pulled the lever, and it's like, oh no, gotta wait for Gina. And it's like where is she? And she was like trapped in like some rock, like in the like next corner or something. So she got stuck in the world.
Right.
There was another time where I was behind this like elevator, and you had to kind of go behind the elevator to go around. So, but she had done that first, and that's how I knew that I had to go there. So I went to follow her, but she then started to walk back, and it's one of those things where it flips from first person to over the shoulder because you're going through, you just going through this type of rock thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't move forward.
The
I
loading
had to,
shimmy.
I had to fucking shimmy back out so she could shimmy back out for then me to shimmy back through again. So there's some weird little quirks in there, but overall, like it ran pretty smooth. Cutscenes do stagger a little bit. Nothing, yeah, like in terms of its actual performance, it was pretty fun. I had one crash.
How long are these cutscenes, by the way? Like, are you like settling in? Is this like a Death Stranding situation because it's trying to be like a movie, or
there's a couple that are maybe a couple minutes, maybe I don't know. I didn't really time it, but everything else is generally pretty short, like under a minute-ish. But just back on the not performance, but the visual side of things, this game looks very, very, very good. Lots of detail, lots of dense environment, like, being in these pyramids and tunnels and old buildings and stuff, which is really, really cool. Anything else that I need to add? I feel like I'm going in circles. I've got no notes. I literally just come off finishing it. So
That's all right. My question with the companions was kind of based around the puzzles, because there's been an unfortunate kind of trend that we've seen. I think God of War Ragnarok was the biggest one, where they would just kind of tell you the answer of the puzzle. That there's none of that here.
Nothing bad. I didn't notice anything bad. Sometimes she might be like, "Oh, we need to look over here," and then you go look over there. And most like the puzzles here are like they're obvious, and then there's one puzzle I'm trying to think exactly, and I can't remember what she says, but it's just like, we need to use these chess pieces, or what it is. It's not chess pieces, but we need to use these pieces. So it's there's nothing that's like, put this here.
She's not gonna come along and be like, I bet that idol weighs about as much as that sand pouch you're carrying, Dr. Jones.
No, nothing quite like that. But yeah, the puzzles are really, really well done. I do think it's they've done a really good job. And our good friend Troy Baker, Mr. Baker, not Mr. Barker, not the stand-in, not the fluffer, but Troy Baker has done. He's fantastic. He does a tremendous job of making it feel like you're playing as Harrison Ford. I think like there were
hell of an effort.
I told Anna, because we played it a lot, most of it together, which also is why we kind of a little bit longer on that.
It all checks out
on the review, but I told her a little bit in that this wasn't actually Harrison Ford, and she was shocked.
Okay. Has she seen Harrison Ford lately?
Don't know about lately, but
okay.
Yeah.
I would love Harrison Ford to deliver some video game box. I think that would be excellent.
Oh my god, he'd be so uninterested, like disinterested.
I need a med pack. All right, time for bed.
But yeah, I think it was about 15 hours. Question. Yep.
I have one question before you wrap things up, and it's prior to the pod, we had a bit of a discussion about a certain person saying a certain thing online about the game. If you're not a massive Indiana Jones fan, say you're just more in it, you're just more of a gamer than an Indiana Jones fan. You've maybe played Uncharted before, or Tomb Raider, or something like that. Does it stand enough on its own 2 feet for someone who's interested in just action adventure games to enjoy it, or do you need some kind of prior knowledge to indie to get
Well,
enough out of it?
I'll be honest. Like I've seen the earlier films, but I can remember fucking fuck all basically, like about those films.
Yep.
So, no, I don't think you need to watch the films to enjoy this. I do think if you are an Indiana Jones fan, you will get a lot more out of it than
Sure.
a casual player, if you want, or someone with no experience. This is not. If you like Uncharted, this is not like Xbox's Uncharted kind of thing. I think a lot of people maybe thought that. I probably even
we all
wrote
did.
that.
Yeah.
But these two, they're very different. Uncharted's a lot more action focused, snapping necks all the time kind of thing. Here, combat, I've said just before that I avoided the combat. Combat is not good here. This is not an action game as such, right? This is an adventure game. So, yeah, I think if you go in expecting Uncharted, then maybe you will be a little bit disappointed because it is, a lot more. Because like for most of the areas, you do have to kind of stealth, and you can pick up anything in the world as essentially like shovels, guitars, frying pans, and you can basically knock people out if you get them without them seeing you. But yeah, like guns and stuff, like you basically don't want to use guns.
Gotcha.
Is that weird, given that it's machine games?
It is a little bit weird. And actually, speaking of weird, the switch to third person. So this game, you play this game in in first person, and then when you like use your whip to pull up a wall or you shimmy through a thing, it shifts back to third person, which is odd sometimes. It's an odd change now and again, especially when you're jumping to another thing. Like if you're jumping from somewhere, it's very, it just kind of,
It lurches you out of the momentum for a minute.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Do you think that the kind of floatier, more awkward combat would be a little bit more forgiving if it was in third person? Like, do you think the first person viewpoint with the kind of melee combat, maybe that was part of the
I just don't think it's very good.
Fair call.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, and you get so tired so easily. It's like, bro, you're like peak indie fitness. Like
This is Prime Jones. Like
absolutely. Like before, I don't know what I was gonna say, but it was gonna be good.
We'll take your word for it.
So if I had to put a score on it now, it'd probably be 7.5, I think.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair.
If you just tuned in, really enjoyed the story, really enjoyed the puzzles. I thought the villain, Emmerich Voss, was done pretty well. I thought he was quite a good villain. The chemistry and stuff between Indiana Jones and Gina is good. Unfortunately, it's let down a little bit by that open world stuff, which kind of just feels a bit bloated, and it's a bit annoying. Like, it just felt like busy work a little bit. Like it is cool when like I said, when you actually get under the chamber, the tombs and stuff, and you're doing that shit, like it's much more boxed in. It's very, very cool. But just getting to those moments can be a bit annoying. And yeah, combat stinks.
Nice. Sounds like a 7.
Right. Yeah, it does.
And Troy Baker is good. Very, very, very good.
Barker.
Troy Baker, yeah. Wolf. I do hope that he gets a look in next Game Awards or whatever the next awards are, DICE Awards or something like that, for his performance, because I think he does a very, very good job here.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, you know.
There's probably more in my review, but I can't remember it right now.
Yeah, you hit the main parts.
I did.
Nazis, whips.
I didn't even talk about the whip, did I?
Is this the game that saves Xbox?
No. Well, no. I just don't think
Lovely.
this is like just to quickly go back to that Uncharted thing. Like this doesn't, to me, this doesn't have that universal appeal of
It doesn't
the
sound like
Uncharted.
a game for the masses. It sounds like a weird little kind of odd take on it, and like, that's cool. I respect that. But yeah,
Yeah, it's I don't. Yeah, it's just not as, I don't know. Maybe it's because there's none of that easy gunplay in it.
Mm,
Mm.
But it is good.
yeah,
Yeah, it's probably their best. I think their best first party game for a while that I've played
yeah.
anyway.
I mean, that's
Other than
Low bar
Forza.
clear, isn't it?
it is.
All right, James.
Yeah.
Going from we've been digging up some old gods. Now we're gonna go to some sexy gods.
Some
I
more
actually don't know
old
if
gods.
I actually don't know if they're sexy or not. But
They
you've
are
been
not.
playing. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You've been playing
Yes,
Mythwrecked.
Mythwrecked, Ambrosia Island. Okay. All right. Let's just keep it short, because I don't think we need to overly litigate. Yes.
Can I just add something? Just before you start this, you may have remembered this, you may not. This is a game from a developer that their previous game I nearly gave it 10 to. I kind of, part of me wishes I
Roki?
did. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Interesting.
So
Well, you know,
Let's
big,
segue out
big,
of that.
big shoes
from
to
such
fill, mate.
lofty heights. No, look, Mythwrecked is I don't know if I would call it bad. I would definitely say I don't like it. This is okay. So you play as Alex. You are like a millennial woman, busy with her work life and whatnot. You know, as she's on this nice boat to this island to meet her friends. I think, you know, her phone's constantly going off, and she's having esoteric conversations with the jettyman about, like, you know, oh, you got to find time for the right things in life and whatnot. Boat crashes. She lands on this island, Ambrosia Island. And then it's kind of like this quasi take on some of these old gods, but it's all gotten this very like cozy, vaguely queer kind of sheen of paint over the top of it, right? You have to help the gods reclaim their lost memories, and they will help you get off of the island. Is the trade off here? You do this in kind of like a semi non-linear fashion. The island is open after a certain point, about, I don't know, maybe 2 hours in, maybe an hour if you're quick at it. And then you go around, you interact with, you know, Ares, that sort of class of pantheon and whatnot. And they give you little tasks that you have to do. Go off and feed some birds. Go off and light some torches. Go off and find my, you know, lost toy on the beach or whatever it is. You bring the item back to them, build up a friendship level. As the friendship level unlocks, they regain their memories. You all have lovely conversations about all of this. It is almost entirely like, and I loathe the term, but like, it is a game of fetch quests. They are quests that send you to fetch things. That's fine. I think if you're into the overriding aesthetic and tone of this thing, you can power through that and whatnot. But like, I wasn't. And so there is very little gameplay here. Like, you know, they might say, oh, you've got to go and investigate this thing. You've now got the Zeus's lightning power. You go, oh, cool. I wonder what that's going to do. And you still just walk up to something, press X, and she goes, zappity zap zap, and it's done. Like, there's no actual mechanic to anything you're really doing here. So gameplay stuff was kind of like already grating on me with the design of these quests. There's the fact that, like, it's an open island, but each section that you can play at a time has a solid 2-second of black loading screen between each portion. And these portions aren't big. Like, you could walk across them in maybe 10 seconds, and then you hit another load screen, and then another load screen, and then another load screen. Certain tasks then take you through multiple doorways. So there's just multiple of these loading screens. That started grating on me as well. And then you add on top of it this kind of like new agey, cozy, like everyone's kind of sexy, but not, you know, aggressively so. And everyone's kind of nice, but not, there's no real tension. It's like, oh, everyone's just kind of cool, man. And the vibes are nice. It just, everything about it grated against me in the wrong way. And I feel bad because it's a small team and I understand there are technical limitations. I played it on a Switch. So that obviously is a factor. Adam?
Oof. Played it on a Switch. I didn't think it doesn't sound like a kid's game to me. Does the writing do enough? Because obviously you said that they were kind of limited in gameplay. Okay, cool. I was hoping maybe the incentive to do these mundane things was the writing and the conversations you have, but maybe not.
Not at all. It's a lot of like,
come
you know, I think the first guy that you help is who's the messenger god?
Hermes.
Hermes, yeah. So you help Hermes, and he remembers things, and he sort of has this like. It does this thing that a lot of indies are doing now, and a lot of games in general are doing now, where they like flirt with ideas of like anti-establishment and capitalism
Mhm.
critiques and all that sort of stuff. But like, it's all just very exposition-y. It's all very on the nose. I didn't get the impression this game had much more going on beyond those surface level ideas. Admittedly, I obviously didn't finish this. Like, this is one of those things where I just go, this is not for me. And I feel like to keep playing this would just make me hate it even more. And that's not fair
Yep.
to the developer. Like, there are people out there who will very much like this game. It's easy, it's breezy, it doesn't auto save, so I did lose 2 hours of progress. I will absolutely flag that as a
Ooh.
concern. Yeah, I just did not like this thing, and I don't really know what to do with that because again, small team, it's not their fault necessarily. I don't think they made a bad game. They just made a game that I don't like.
Yeah, you don't vibe with it.
Yeah.
So you were Mythwrecked.
Mm. I was. Yeah. Dashed against those rocks so fucking hard.
Interesting. It was an interesting pivot from what they had come from. So these, from memory, they are Guerrilla.
PlayStation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Guerrilla devs. Yeah.
Gorilla, really?
I'm pretty sure. Guerrilla London, I want to say though, but don't hold me on that one.
I don't know
could
what the
be-
difference is between Gorilla London and regular Gorilla.
Neither do I. But
Or bananas, mate.
so one thing that Roki had ggoing for it was the art style. How's the art style here?
I hate it.
Colorful. Oh, okay. Fine, yeah.
Sorry. No, it is colorful. It is, but it feels to me it's vibrant and it's colorful and it's expressive in a way that a dot point list is, not necessarily in a way that I find aesthetically pleasing or cohesive in the moment. The faces they look kind of like the Roki faces. It is a very deliberate art style choice, and I respect that. I don't like it. They just look wrong to me. Also, the running animation is awkward and anyway, yeah, cool. You get it.
Are you gonna go play Roki?
No, I don't think I will.
They're not like a little bit like Roki.
Yeah, they got like the weird eyes, you know.
That main chick's eyes actually scare me a little bit.
It's a little unsettling. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for that one.
That's mine.
Shout outs. Good stuff.
Yep.
This
We
one's
love indies
on.
here.
This one's on
PC,
and Switch, isn't it? It's not on any other
think
console, is
so.
it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
No, it's on Xbox.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
There you go. Good double feature with Jones.
That's it. Go from playing Indiana, go cracking whips. Adam, you have been reviewing Redacted. Tell us what that is.
I can't tell you the
Share the-
name, but I
spill the
can
beans.
tell you what it's about. Yeah, it is called Redacted because they fucking hate their own SEO, apparently. But this is like an action roguelike from the team that made Callisto Protocol, and weirdly enough is based in the same universe as Callisto Protocol. Better yet, it's set in the same prison as Callisto Protocol. But this will blow you away.
What?
It's set in the same prison. Callisto Protocol was set in a prison.
Thanks,
Same
mate.
setting as Callisto Protocol. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, right.
But while Callisto was a very self-serious, fairly dog shit horror game, Redacted is a very light-hearted kind of punk rock action roguelike that's like isometric. It's very Hades. I don't want to dance around that for too long. It's very, very Hades. Obviously not as clean and polished as Hades, but it is very good. I had a really good time with it. It's got good punchy combat that is both ranged and melee. You've like a pistol, you can get a shotgun, an assault rifle, and a few other different ranged weapons. And you start off with just kind of like a baton. You can get like a cattle prod like thing, and they all kind of mesh together quite well between melee and ranged. But you make your way through the prison. There are 4 different biomes, and each time you clear a room, you'll get an upgrade to your character, and then you can choose from one of a few different doors that lead to either like an upgrade station or a place where you can make purchases, or you can just get another upgrade that'll be randomized. You know how roguelikes work. There's a boss between each different level. I thought all the bosses were pretty cool, challenging for the first run until you kind of get an understanding of their different mechanics and their move sets, which do evolve as they take damage, like all good bosses do. They don't change a great deal. They're literally just, you get to the end of the first section, you fight the first boss. So they're kind of, you know what to expect, I suppose. So you can prepare for it ahead of time. What you can't prepare for ahead of time are the rivals. So these are either the kind of guards that have gone batshit crazy. There's a lunch lady. There are different prisoners that have essentially escaped, and they're racing you to the last available escape pod that's left in this prison. So that gives you kind of like a ticking clock. So you can't waste any time because there's a tracker down the bottom, and you see their little face go across it in real time. They're racing you to the end, and you have this ability to kind of throw debuffs at them. So either you can deal damage, or you can block off their route for 30 seconds, or you can throw different challenges at them that might slow them down, and they can do the same to you. So that kind of adds like a nice little random wrinkle to things. It does kind of put the fear of God into you. Your first couple runs, you won't actually see them at all. You won't interact with them, so you can take it at your own pace. Once they're involved in the game, that's kind of it. You can't take your time. You have to like prepare for that time crunch. So once you've kind of, the genie's out of the bottle, you can't put it back in. So that might not be for everyone. I really liked it. It meant that it's nice and snappy. And I think runs, even when successful, don't go anywhere over about 20 minutes. I will say though, once you do finish a run and you go back through, you start unlocking new stuff like weapon upgrades and things like that. There's not a real big incentive to go back through. You can beat all of the rivals, and from what I'm aware, excuse me, there is an ultimate like finish line / you can hit credits. There's something that you get at the end. I will admit I haven't got there if you defeat all of the rivals, but all the runs feel pretty similar. So I don't think I can see myself expressly doing that. If I naturally get there just from playing the game because I enjoy the gameplay, then sure. But it's not enough of an incentive for me to sit down and try to smash it out. But overall, I really liked it. It's got a cool cel-shaded aesthetic. It keeps a lot of what mechanically that borrows a lot from Callisto. So it has like I don't know how else to say it, but like the force push thing that you can do.
But not
and you
stasis.
Yeah, exactly. And you can kick enemies to like interrupt their attacks. It's got a big focus on melee. There's backstabbing to do extra damage. It takes all of the kind of better ideas from Callisto and makes them not shit and fun to engage with. So it's commendable. The world is still not interesting whatsoever. It is what it is. The attempt at humor is a bit grating, and also the punk rock, like the literal music. There are like 3 tracks. And if you're trying to better your score or get further through, you'll get sick of those few tracks. For audio listeners,
games striking back there.
Yeah, for audio listeners, Zach has pulled out a physical copy of the Callisto Protocol, and I can only hope he's
Day 1 edition. Let's say as well.
Disgusting. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I've been playing it consistently for a couple of weeks because I've taken my sweet time with this review. But ultimately, I've really enjoyed it. It's wild. It's like a complete tone transplant for the series. It's wild to see them go in this weird direction. James, you have a question?
Does this have co-op?
No, I really wish it did. I think it would be... I think what would be interesting is if you could take on the role of the rival and you're kind of like racing someone else to the finish line. Because occasionally, if you catch up to the rival, all of the rooms will be, no, you just have to fight them. So they're not passive. all the time. You do actually come into contact with them. So I think that would be a really cool addition. Your friends be the rivals. That would be really cool. I know I paused. I could feel it. But yeah, nothing like that as of yet. I don't know. Might be down the track, but nothing just now.
Looks cool. I was just watching the launch trailer. Like it looks like a video game in the way that Callisto Protocol doesn't. So
very much, yeah. It's infinitely more enjoyable than Callisto.
Also, just want to say, shout out to Buddy Watson for the Day 1 edition hookup of the Callisto, pre-owned.
Oh, man.
Pre-owned. Anyway,
Dreadful.
cool. Do you have a number you want to give us for this little hot unit?
Bouncing between a 7.5 and an 8, probably leaning more to an 8 if I
Better than Indy.
Yeah. It's better than Indy. I think I would have a better time with this than Indy for sure.
I think you'd like Indy.
did we? Oh, never mind. I was about to ask why didn't we review Callisto Protocol, and then I remembered. So
yeah. See, it had an uphill battle with me for me to even enjoy it, just based off me being a salty bitch. But no, I really like it.
Very good.
That's good. This is on PC and
it's on pretty much everything outside of Switch. I don't think it is on Switch, but yeah, it's on all of the big boy consoles and PC.
Okay. Nice. Very good. All right, one real quick shout out. Christy will have a review for Short Trip up. We don't have a score to throw your way yet, but she does write. Short Trip lives up to its name. It offers a pleasant experience that doesn't outstay its welcome. I couldn't help but wish for something more, yet I found myself thinking a lot about how the game was made, perhaps because it's framed that way, and I empathise with the artistic struggle to just finish a long-running project. Ultimately, I was happy with the brief jaunt that the game offered me on a sunny afternoon. This is this is like a little like side-scrolling kind of thing. Apparently, a run or a playthrough, whatever you want to call it, is about 5 to 10 minutes. So, it's from 2 Point, or however you would say that. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, there you go. Check out that review when it hits the website. Cool. I know there's nothing here for discussion topics, but this is just one real quick one. More of a question than a topic, since it's not like a discussion. But did we all do the PlayStation Wrapped?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's been down all day, right? It's every year PlayStation are like, no, I think the servers that we've put up for this will suffice, and it never is. It's always fucked. But I logged in. Sorry to just completely take this away from you, Zach. But
go for it.
I logged in. And I was like, you know what? I'm curious. I want to see what my year's been like. And it started off. Your first game you played on January 1st is A Plague Tale: Innocence, and I was like, fucking hell, let's go. This is a really good start.
Mine's
it showed me. Good man. See, great start, right? Really strong start. Fuck, it goes downhill. So this was my most played game in January and February. It was my second most played game this year. Thank God Astrobot jumped ahead of it. It's something we'll talk about in the news very shortly. It's Suicide Squad.
No way.
Justice League.
Mate.
My second most played game this year. And I immediately was like,
what was the first? Oh, was that A Plague Tale?
Astrobot.
Oh, sorry.
No, Astrobot was just above it. Right. But the shame I have is I can let you know though that is Ash Whaling's number one was Suicide Squad.
Oof,
bro.
Yeah, I know.
Mine was Banishers, Ghost of New Eden, with the
number one
epic 52 hours that I played that game for. I know, right?
Jesus.
Though you have to remember, I am a serial leave the game running kind of person, so. That does
52 seems
beat those numbers. Though I will tell you that Footy Manager number before that is like probably not close. That is probably very close to actual. That's fucked up. Dustborn at 31 was my second most played. Harold Halibut, 26.
Oh, yep.
Deathloop, 4th at 26. Then Unknown 9 Awakening.
Oh my! Oh Jesus!
How many how many games did you play this year? I was like, oh yeah, I probably played a few, though I do dabble across 3 different platforms.
Can we get this
38.
on our phone, like on
Yeah.
the app?
Yeah. No. See, how fucking
Not
annoying
on the
is
app,
that?
because
No.
why would you be able to?
Why? Yeah, why would that make sense?
I just googled PlayStation wrap up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
How many
I'm-
games did you play this year, Zach? Sorry.
38.
Oh, 67. for
Yeah,
me.
that's weak. I'm
Damn.
weak. Yeah.
I've been trying to broaden my horizons a little bit, to be fair, between review games. So
Mm.
I'm trying to. There was
glad
one more I wanted
glad to see
to,
it's showing.
and I played 295 hours, which I feel like is
What total?
yeah.
Oh god. Oh, mine's gonna be atrocious then.
302 for me. James, yours
Okay.
is surely
'Cause
with all of your
I
co-op.
have like 200 odd hours in Sea of Thieves alone.
Jesus.
Oh,
and
boy.
so
But you don't
I'm
play
really
much
quite
on-
worried.
On PC and stuff, do you? Oh no, you
No,
guess you.
No,
guess you got
I'm
the-
just a
yeah,
PlayStation guy
yeah.
for the most part. So
So I think I played more PC. Probably not more games, but I played more time on PC. I reckon this year.
I played 124 games this year.
Wow.
There
Look
go.
at you
My
go.
first game for the year, Fallout 76. Excellent. Yeah, my number 1 game is Sea of Thieves, unfortunately. Number 2 game is Skyrim.
What?
So that's because remember I platinumed it.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
year.
you did too.
Oh, you did
So,
too. That's
yeah.
right.
Number 3 is Helldivers. Number 4 is Remnant 2. It's a fucking good one right there.
Okay.
And number 5 is Resident Evil Revelations. It's been a rough year for me and co-op friends. So let's
How's that your number 5?
mate.
How many hours is that?
That was 53 hours.
You played. My number 1 game was 52 hours.
I know. I am painfully aware of all of this.
James.
Oh mate. I know.
There you go.
Know.
I'll throw something a little bit quirky to you. Shout outs to the old black box. But the PlayStation 4
yeah.
got 6 hours of use in 2024. Still
Yeah.
still kicking on. Good on you, old girl.
Good on you.
Good
PS4.
for it.
All right. Good stuff.
Got
Good
9
stuff.
platinums this year.
Got none. 0 because I'm not a fucking loser. No, I'm kidding.
Dweeb. Yeah. No. I agree.
James' news. Take it away.
Well, Adam, I actually feel like needs to take this one.
Yeah, I'll jump in. It's
Let it
been a
out.
light news fortnight, week, I don't know, month, who knows. There are only 2. One's a bad news story, one's a very good news story that's off the back of the PlayStation wrap up. We'll get the bad one out of the way. People Can Fly, the developer behind Outriders, which I 8.5 love, and Bulletstorm, unfortunately have laid off 120 staff because they're scaling back their self-published games. So essentially, it's just the market is fucked. I think we're all pretty acutely aware of that. And they made the decision to indefinitely put on hold one of their incubator projects and vastly scale back another one. So with that comes redundancies. And unfortunately, 120 people have been laid off. Zachary Jackson.
One thing for this sounds like they are just surviving now, from the sounds of it, until they can, The second thing, just to not move on, but to add to this, is we also read that Deck 9, I think, are reducing.
Yeah, so they
workforce.
again. So a few months ago, they cut down 20% of their workforce, and within the last few days, they've also let go another undisclosed amount of people. We don't know exactly how many that is. Another layoff that I couldn't get enough detail on to be able to report on it, but the Weta Games Workshop, or the Weta Workshop Games Division, have also sliced off a decent few staff members. I saw on LinkedIn a few of the affected people were posting about that, which is it's unfortunate. It's a lot happening in December, which is just rancid timing for
Did you guys
everyone
hit the
affected.
Ubisoft news last week?
I was about.
Yes.
Is this the?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you?
We very
Yeah,
much did.
right.
Wait.
Yep.
What news? Well, hang on. No. Okay. Sorry. I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about different news. Sorry. So there's other. It's not really news. It's more of a rumor. That's not rumor. It's like I don't remember the actual, but apparently, or at least let's just go with this part. This is the part that I do recall. But a data analyst or some expert, an analyst, whatever, he reckons that Ubisoft will basically next year will dissolve in a way, or not, maybe not dissolve is probably the wrong word, but they will
They're looking at going
privatize.
private.
Yeah,
with
privatize.
Tencent.
And
Yeah,
basically, well, this other thing is like they might start selling off their IPs one by one because this person, I think the article said that he reckons that they'll be more valuable individually rather than collectively.
Okay.
I mean, the way they've been managing them, yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's such a watch this space with that company at the minute. It's it's a Jenga tower that's got like one block at the bottom. It's unfortunate.
We all hate on, not hate on, but we all, we make fun of their games and their formula. But if a big publisher like that falls, it's not good. It's really not good.
No.
No, I think like it's a sign of the times, but like they used to be like a pretty reliable, consistent. Like Ubisoft don't make amazing games, but they make games that sell and they keep thousands of people employed. And that's just not reliable at all anymore.
Yeah, which is a shame.
It is.
Speaking of sign of the times. Speaking of sign of the times, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. If you didn't hear, is my second most played game this year. It won't be for long. I can't play it because I'll be out of content. So its current season, which is introducing Deathstroke as a playable character, which is a death fucking joke. If you've seen the gameplay, good lord, it's dire. It'll be its last season. So this is season 4 of 4. The original kind of like splash image for all of their content was you get this, and more. There is no and more. This is going to be it. So they've released 4 characters to date, with Deathstroke being the last one, and some other story content and guns and all that shit. Who gives a fuck? If you want to play that offline, you now can, because they've magically flipped a switch and figured out how to have that game be playable offline. Who knew it could happen? So you can do that if you like. All of the in-game shops and whatnot will remain active. Please don't spend money on this game. It's not good. But yeah, it's fucked and will not be continuing. That's the long and short of it.
What do we think happens to Rocksteady? Do we think they
to
be bought? Or do they
some
go
of
private?
Some of their team are working on something else. Hang on, I'll see if I can find what the details of that are. But they're helping with another project, and they're incubating a few different ideas. It was a Jason Schreier call on, I think when he was on Kinda Funny, maybe it's somewhere, I don't know. But Jason Schreier essentially said some of the team are working as a support for another studio, another project. And they're kind of bouncing ideas for new games, which you would assume would be kind of a back to Batman kind of formula. You would hope, but
fall back on the safety of it. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, tell you what, not good.
Haven't there been rumors that Warner Brothers want to get out to a certain degree?
I remember that. Yeah,
Warner Brothers has been in a really odd spot for a long while. It's sold off a lot of its other divisions, like not gaming related. It's been selling off bits and pieces. Like it's been fractured and fracturing for a long time. So yeah, I wouldn't be overly surprised if they started getting rid of their gaming division as well.
The other thing is, if there's, I don't know if I want to frame this as a good thing, but I hope that these companies start to learn that we don't want like live service shit anymore.
Yep.
We would certainly hope that's the lesson that everyone takes away from this year. But
they've got to be like, they would have to know. Concord, epic flop. This, shutting down in 10 months or whatever it was.
Yeah.
The other one, there was another one that X Defiant.
There are like, even with the, not to talk Marvel Rivals again, but there are at least moves.
Is that the card game?
Yeah, it's a card game, mate. Exactly right. And Helldivers is another really good example. So
The card game.
it's another card game. Balatros fucking changed the game, man. It's unreal. But there's
The
ways
more
to
you
be
know.
less shit as a live service. Like with Helldivers and with Marvel Rivals, their season passes or whatever the fuck you want to call them, they're not forcing you to spend all of your time in that game. Once you buy that, that is your content. You can unlock it as you like. So there are changes being made to make it more sustainable, but it's not like a one size fits all. You can't just put a big IP into a live service and expect it to fit. Like Suicide Squad was massive. It was hot as hell off the back of the latest movie, not the one that was shit, the one that was actually good. And that failed miserably. And that was off the back of the Arkham series, which was insanely popular. So you would think it would just work, but that's just not. It's not the reality we live in. If it's not good, people are just going to move either back to Fortnite or onto something else.
That's one thing that I do think Sony, I mean, even though they did let Concord go out after like 8 years in development or whatever it was and huge amounts of money, but at least they are aware enough to be like, "Oh, fuck it, let's just pull this before it gets any worse." And same with like The Last of Us, like, you were talking about, just because it's a big name doesn't mean it's going to work as a live service game. So I think, for them to kind of pull that, be like, you know what, it's not going to work. Let's just, I know that people want it, and we all kind of want it and wanted to see what that was, but anyway, cool. James? No? All right.
I thought I was going to sneeze.
Well, bless you.
So just quickly, they're working on Hogwarts Legacy, of all things.
Yeah, I figured that's what that made sense, because that's the only thing I can think of that
Warner Bros. Actually, yeah.
Gives a shit about. Yeah.
What's Monolith up
Wild.
to?
That Wonder Woman game?
Wonder Woman, yeah. With the Nemesis system, because, you have to use it again because you fucking copyrighted it. Imagine copywriting something like that. Fucking bullshit.
Off topics.
Oh.
Adam,
Yeah.
while you're heated and jazzed up, wait, is it you or is it James doing it? Who actually decided to do it? Or do you both want to go?
2000s?
Yeah, 2000 film of the week.
I've got one ready to go. Here we go. This is the synopsis. Ophelia moves with her mother to her stepfather's house. At night, a fairy leads her to a faun
Pan's
who informs her that she is for fuck's sake, let me get through it. She is a princess and she needs to participate in 3 tasks to prove her royalty. Zach. James, hello.
We've actually already done Pan's Labyrinth. It was the second one we ever did.
And as soon as you said Ophelia, I was like, Pan's Labyrinth.
What was last week's 2000?
Fuck
movie?
me, I guess.
It was. Let me see if I can.
It was a banger. It was Nathan, and it was a banger.
What's the easiest and quickest way? I don't want to try and repeat Nathan's magic in how he delivered that, but it's about an influential person who is betrayed by his closest group of friends.
Person betrayed by closest group of friends.
Historical setting.
Historical.
Okay. Jesse James.
I'm trying to think.
So good. That's such a good guess. You can throw the director. It's a very famous or infamous, how you want to go, Australian director, actor turned director
/ actor. He's been very, very brave at times.
Brave is good. That's very good.
He
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, I was about to say he knows what
Mel Gibson directs things.
He directed one very specific thing.
Oh,
he did. Have you ever seen?
Yeah, no, I'm.
I'll try and see if I can throw you a Hail Mary here.
No, as in like I didn't even know he directed films. I don't know
Oh.
how I'd be aware of the film that he has directed.
Well, that there was a bit of a clue, but he did Passion of the Christ.
Oh, of course. Okay, well I'm adding it to the list that I'm not keeping.
All right, because I
Screen
got
director.
Adams in one word. James, do you have yours there still?
Let's see. Yeah, I can do one. I don't think we've done this before.
All right. Sorry, Adam.
We
Good choice, though. Great
have
film.
not.
My
So
favorite
it's
film.
fine.
It's
All
a
right.
banger.
Okay. A cab driver is shocked after he learns that his passenger is an assassin on a deadly mission to kill people.
I know what this is.
Or go on then.
Wow, I think I know what it is. Collateral?
It is.
Hey, God,
Excellent
2 for
film.
2 tonight. Nice
That
work.
was, and quick too, hey. Bang,
Yeah,
bang.
right. You're on it.
Doesn't fuck around.
Not, wait, mate,
Man.
you give me my favorite film and Tom Cruise, I'm in for a good night.
That's
You love to see it.
You do. All right, speaking of things that aren't good and other films, I went and watched Kraven the Hunter last night, and it is absolutely
Oh.
dog shit. Like,
no.
it's got
Is Russell Crowe authentic?
oh my lord, he is having a blast, mate. Like he is,
Wait, Russell Crowe's in Kraven the Hunter?
yeah, and he's Russian.
Yes, he is.
Sure.
He's
Okay.
a Russian. He's a Russian mafia boss,
It's his dad.
and
It's
he's
Craven's dad.
and he is authentic, mate. He's
Ah,
authentically
Pop
Russian.
Kraven.
That's it. Yeah, this film is not good. This film, I don't even know what to tell you. Like this film is bad. This is like Morbius level bad.
Okay. Like barely even a movie kind of.
It is just so odd. Like the whole thing is odd. So if you don't know what, so I knew before that Craven was a bad guy, right? I didn't really know that much more than that. But this is one of those films where they're trying to make the villain into the hero kind of thing. So in this,
Because we need to do that for some reason.
well, I was reading something. I think it might have been one of the reviews on the film, and it might be contractually that might be just easier for them because anything related to Spider-Man they have to get it. But I don't know. Yeah, I might have read that wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so in this film, young Kraven gets pulled out of his school by Papa Kraven, and they go hunting with little Kraven as well, and Lion attacks older brother, which is and then this young girl finds him, and then this potion that she's been given like about 2 minutes ago on the screen by her like voodoo priestess, like grandmother,
Sure.
heals him, and then he gets a bit of lion's blood in him, and then all of a sudden he's got the power of a lion, motherfucker.
God.
He's got the speed, he's got the sense, he can talk to him, he's Dr. Doolittle, he's got the works, mate. So anyway, then he goes out, then his mission is to hunt down bad people. So fueled by his hate for his father, and
Lion's blood will do that to you.
yeah, I know, right? And it's just not good. It is not good at all. It is bad. Everything about this film is bad. There are some actually, I will say some cool things. There's a couple of really graphically violent kills.
Huh.
Yeah.
But
Two
they didn't
that
do
are-
that in Morbius.
It's still like not bloody. Like there's blood, right? But it's not like fucked up like Deadpool, right? But there were two real like ones that got the crowd going, whoa. But anyway, throughout this movie, the crowd was literally laughing. Like there are people in the crowd that
Oh,
were
boy.
laughing, and this is at like the not premiere, but like the preview screening that they put on. So you got people in the crowd laughing. When this film finished, people like all clapped. Oh, not all clapped. There was a bunch of people started to clap and stuff. There's like a scene. There's a scene in this film where what's his name? Aaron Taylor Jordan Joseph
Johnson.
Yep. Where he literally talks, right? His voice comes across the screen, through the speakers, in the scene that you see, his lips do not move.
Yep. That
Right.
happened in Madam Web a
It
lot.
did, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I can
a
use the
shocking
cameras to
amount.
trace them.
No. His mouth. You could see his mouth. And it was
Mm.
like, it's like,
Oh,
is he thinking
that's a
that? But it's
reshoot.
like, but he said it like, but there was some stuff that I thought was like not lip syncing was like a bit off as well. So it's obviously when they're when they're doing the recording of the lines later on. But yeah, this one they were like, you know what, fuck it.
Fuck it. No one's gonna see this.
Yeah.
I will say there's another. I can't remember his name, but he's the rhino in the film.
Oh,
Rhino.
Paul Giamatti?
Yeah, is it?
Oh
is that
no,
him?
sorry.
Fuck
we
off.
went,
Paul
sorry.
Giamatti would not be coming
No,
back.
sorry,
No,
no.
sorry.
No. I don't know why I said yes to that. Why am I looking up? What's the film I just watched? Kraven. He is Alessandro Nivola.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Oh,
You, know,
mate.
you got no idea, do you?
Nah.
He's in Face Off. Anyway, he's like awkward Russian. He's like awkward he's like socially awkward in this film, but he's also it's quite comical. I think he does an okay job
Sounds it.
at being his role. I think that's how he's meant to be doing it. But also it's the whole thing's weird and not good. Then also,
Ariana DeBose is in this?
yes,
She has
and
an Oscar. What is
Mate.
happening?
mate, her character, this is when people started to laugh
Oh god.
because
Cash is cash, baby.
because she's the adult person of the girl that saved him, right? And his like mission was to like not hunt, but to find her, to like say thank you, blah blah blah. She's now a lawyer, and then he's just like, here's my list, help me, blah blah. And then it's just all of a sudden, she's like,
Jesus.
they're like partners. The whole thing is very strange.
Ugh,
It's
why
bad.
not?
I'd give it a 3. Thank you.
Cool.
Rice.
I'll run two ends of the spectrum here. I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, Deadpool versus Wolverine, whatever it's called. First movie on Letterboxd, I've not given even a half star to. I think that is dog shit. Like,
Wow.
truly.
That's the new
awful.
one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated it. I hated myself for watching it. Whatever. It's all good. It's
Okay.
done now.
Just out of interest, what didn't you like about it?
Because I know it's an unpopular opinion. I just had to let it out.
No. I'm curious to know why. What about it really pulled that
just
no
like,
stars?
There was no. There's no intention behind that film other than look at these toys we're smashing together. Like, it is the epitome of like fandom culture put onto a screen. There's not even a functional script there. Like, it doesn't even pretend to be a functional film, and that's fine. But I'm allowed to hate that for that.
Yeah.
Also, just ugly to look at, bad performances.
Okay.
Fucking name it. I didn't like it.
I think we said when we watched it. No, we didn't do a thing. We did it on here, but I was like, feels like an excuse for Ryan Reynolds and William Dafoe. Not William Dafoe. Fucking what's his
Willem
name?
Dafoe. Imagine.
I would watch the fuck out of Willem Dafoe's.
Hugh Jackman, just to make a film together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And look,
You're
I mean,
right.
Hugh Jackman, he still tries. I'll give him that. But yeah, no, not for me. Anyway, on the opposite end, more fun times ahead. Zach, this one's kind of for you, but also for me. I am partway through Black Doves on Netflix. Are you aware of this thing?
I am aware of it. It's on my list to watch.
Good. I think you will get a real kick out of it. It is kind of like a softy Netflixy slow horses in a lot of ways, except it's Keira Knightley running around doing teeth acting and going like, my family. It's excellent. She is. I love Keira Knightley. I am a huge fucking fan of hers. She's really good in this.
She does have teeth, though.
Is also very good. Oh yeah.
And she knows.
Really good. 6 episodes. I think I'm on episode like 4 at the moment. Goes down easy. Not really challenging, but not bad either. Like, it's quality and accessible at the same time, which I think is always a really nice balance to strike. So yeah,
Nice.
highly recommend Black Doves.
I got one for you because I wasn't finished, James. But thank you. But that's okay. We can share.
You talked for a very long time about Kraven.
I know because it was so bad. Anyway, don't get me started again. something I'm watching that is absolutely fantastic. It's on SBS on demand. Is a show called Tokyo Vice. Have you ever heard of it?
You talked about this.
I have talked. I've told you about it, but I haven't talked about it on the show because I saw you. You and I locked eyes from
Oh,
across
yeah.
the table.
Is this the Michael Mann TV show? It
That
is
was
the
my-
Michael Mann TV show.
This show is really good. So it's got Ken Watanabe.
Watanabe is
Yep.
correct, I think.
Anyway, so this is about this is set in the early 90s, I think, or around then in Tokyo, and it is like based on true events, I believe, and it's essentially it's about this young American journalist who graduates from journalism school, whatever, and gets a job at the biggest newspaper in Tokyo, or in Japan, Tokyo, one of the two. And it's like the first time a foreigner has ever worked there, right? And then he's just got this hard on for like reporting on like the Yakuza and just how he kind of it's all about that. And there's part of it, like the other part of it is you see like parts of the Yakuza, and then Ken's character is this cop, and he's it's really cool. It's really good. It's very good. So
Very
I would
good.
highly recommend that that you give that a watch, and it's in like Japanese and English.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
Adam, you watched anything?
Nothing massive. I finished What We Do in the Shadows, the last episode of the last season. I'll dearly miss that show. It's so dumb, but so good. And I watched the first 2 episodes of DC's Creature Commandos, which is like the new animated show. It's good. I like it. I am even DC properties just a little bit burnt out with superhero shit because, we've been force-fed it for like 20 years now. But yeah, it's good. I had an all right enough time with it. But yeah, that's pretty much me this week.
Solid. Good stuff. All right, well, I think that's it. We're done.
Send us home, mate. Send us home.
Peace out. Well, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the WellPlayed DLC podcast. If you want to check out the content, you can go to well-played. Wait. Well.
Oh, yeah.
Put too much stank on the hyphen. Got confused.
I did. You can go to well-played.com.au to check out all the stuff we've chatted about. Hopefully the indie review actually won't be up by, because this potty is going up in like 7 hours, mate, so that review won't be there. But check it out over the weekend, hopefully. YouTube, you can check us out there. Twitter, X, whatever, and Blue Sky we're all at WellPlayed there. So check us out. Give us a follow. Might follow you back, might not. Don't know. You might get lucky. Who's to know? Other than that, have a good weekend, and we will see you next time. Don't watch Kraven, but watch Tokyo Vice and Black Doves.
Bye.
Bye. Or as Keira Knightley would say,
Bye.